go down in the mat while the mats are up to retrieve the shoes. Well, I'm like, how many other kids have died doing that? And I told her, you have not given me one fact yet.
Watching that Kendrick Johnson documentary.
Because once you make a ruling accidental, then all investigative purposes basically stop. Because you done made your ruling, this is an accident. So therefore, nothing else will be done. Based on my experience and all the doctors I've worked with, they made their decisions based on facts, no theories.
Have you ever experienced that before in your career?
No, never. And I've investigated homicide for 23 years.
Watching that Kendrick Johnson documentary.
Based on their theory.
Yeah, they did that boy bogus, man.
They don't make a ruling. Just for me to
who the fuck climbs in the gym mat to go down and try to find their shoes? That shit don't make no sense.
So it got to me because I've been to a lot of autopsies. And if they were not facts, a ruling was not made. Because if doctors are not sure, they normally leave it undetermined.
Come on in.
Cases can be left undetermined for years.
They also found a hoodie that was not KK's, but appeared to maybe have blood on it as well.
You look real close, there's something on this particular cuff. And then the question is, was it blood? Did you test it?
According to the crime lab report, no.
The last piece of evidence that is glaring is all the blood found on the wall.
Here's what Lowndes County Lieutenant Stride Jones told CNN about that wall in May.
And we tested it and it was blood. And we did DNA testing and it was not the blood of Kendrick Johnson.
If it wasn't Kendrick blood, who blood was it?
Did you ever find out who it was or anything?
They found blood on the wall. Tested it was blood, but they wasn't Kendrick blood.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 impacts.
But beyond all this evidence, the shoes, the blood, the position of the body, there's still one bit of evidence that was unquestionable. The closed-circuit TV cameras. At least they should have been unquestionable. But as with most evidence in this case, there seems to be issues.
FBI agents will be at Lowndes High School, likely today, to seize the hard drives from the surveillance system at Lowndes High School.
I saw Kendrick walking in the gym, and all of a sudden, he's gone.
There is a whole of time where none of the cameras provide any record that I've been provided.
But there was like seconds missing from the tape, and that really sort of got me thinking like, hold on for a minute. Am I the one that noticed this? And I was just disturbed on why is there seconds missing?
There are 4 cameras in the gym that records motion from when the lights turn on in the morning until when the lights are turned off at night, except for the area of interest.
The moments before Kendrick Johnson enters the gym. Look at what happens to the recordings from these 4 cameras in the gym. The time is recorded with the video. The first camera captures images from the start of the day until 12:04 p.m. Then, nothing. It picks up again at 1:09 p.m. There's consistent surveillance from the second camera until 11:05 a.m. Then it stops and picks up again more than 2 hours later at 1:15 p.m. The third camera also drops at 11:05 a.m. It picks up again at 1:16 p.m. And from the final camera, there's surveillance until 12:04 p.m., no recording for more than an hour, then it picks up again at 1:09 p.m. Here's why Fredericks would have expected the motion-activated system to record during that time. During that hour and 5 minutes, several students are seen walking into and out of the old gym from the surveillance camera just outside the gym door. We count 7 male students, and 3 of them walk into the gym within 3 minutes prior to Kendrick Johnson walking in. When surveillance in the gym resumes at 1:09, we see just these few frames of Kendrick Johnson running in the gym. Here's that moment from all of the cameras in the gym, although there's a record from only 2, and the camera just outside the door. Notice, the hall camera timestamp appears to be 10 minutes behind, and there's no confirmation either time matches the exact time of day. It is the last time his image is captured on video.
You got people in the gym playing basketball on one of the cameras, but over there where the mats were, when that part appeared on the camera, no one is over there. And I'm like, where did Kendrick go? So people were trying to explain to us that this their system is an old system, it's just how it works. To go there and to find out that they have all these different cameras working and everything is not working, but there are a lot of cameras that are working, but the parts that we need to work are not working.
For the next hour, there are multiple gaps in the video surveillance in the gym. And there's no video showing the initial discovery of a body in the gym. The next time we see Kendrick Johnson is the following day when he's being wheeled out of the gym in a body bag.
I used to work at the high school. I used to be a substitute teacher, and I did.
Yeah, they covering this shit up, man. So pretty much right now, the boy get found in the fucking gym mat. He missing for a day. And then his people end up calling the next day to try to find out where the fuck is this boy at. So they end up finding him up in the motherfucking the gym mat, but the fucking sheriffs didn't even want to let the people see his goddamn body. Then on top of that, whoever was on the case, the FBI agents recused themselves from the case because I guess 2 of the alleged suspects they did, he was an FBI agent. Some crazy shit.
And for about 12 years, it's a camera everywhere you go. From every angle. They caught me one day, over laws during planning period. Yes, I was. So I know it could have caused something. But when we see the tapes, it's kids playing basketball, it's kids horse playing.
Can you tell me why nobody that see Kendrick go get in the mat when there's a gym full of kids? Can you tell me why?
It's just so obvious.
It's the second time Jacqueline Johnson cried next to her son Kendrick's grave. The first time he was being lowered into the ground. In June, Kendrick's body was sent to Florida. The Johnsons hired Dr. Bill Anderson to conduct an independent second autopsy.
I'm a forensic pathologist. I've been actually practicing over 40 years in the field of forensic pathology and pathology in general. And one of the things that immediately stuck out was the findings in the lungs. Now, in a positional asphyxia, where someone is trapped in something where they can't breathe, they fight for breath, so forth, and over a period of time, their muscles begin to wear out, essentially, so they're not breathing as well. And this causes basically the heart to start failing and fluid to build up in the lungs. They get more and more fluid, and this basically suffocates them. Well, in Kendrick Johnson's case, the lungs were not only had no fluid in, but they were basically normal. The diagnosis of positional asphyxia, if you're going to make that diagnosis, when you look at the lungs under the microscope, you can see the fluid in the lungs. When you look at the weights of the lungs, which are normally around 250 grams and 280 grams, they'll be much heavier, 3 to 4 times that weight. Well, Kendrick's were actually normal weight.
So according to the state's own documents, which you have, right?
Correct.
His lungs weighed the normal weight.
They killed that boy.
In fact, that was the first red flag that was
Sheriff Chris Pine.
So if you find
what you got to say, brother?
Dichotomy, basically, then you have to figure out, well, what was it? Was it something else that was going on? But in the absence of the lungs being heavy, you cannot make the diagnosis of positional asphyxia. So because of that, then we decided, well, all right, we don't have any information. So we decided we would go ahead and exhume the body and do a second autopsy.
Digging him up, it's just unexplained to stand there and watch, your child coming back out of the ground again.
Well, we opened the body in this particular case, and the organs were not there. The body had basically paper had been stuffed into the cavity to fill it out.
They sent this boy for a second autopsy to Florida. He in Georgia. Open the body up, and it's stuffed with fucking newspaper. Come on now, we gotta do better, America.
And so the organs actually were not in the body at all.
Every organ from the top of Kendrick's head to his pelvis, gone.
When I found out the organs were missing, I was like, how is that possible? Because I sat through many autopsies, and the organs are taken out, examined, and they're placed in a bag. Everything you take out, you put inside of a bag. Then once it's back inside of the bag, the body is sold out. So everything is put back inside the victim.
Have you ever opened a body in 40 years and had that happen to you?
It was unexpected for a medical examiner case.
President of the National Association of Medical Examiners, who told CNN he's never heard of this practice.
You see cuts there by his nails.
Yeah,
just right there. You see these cuts. This goes in line with the family's theory that there was a fight.
This is indicative of something that is fresh. These are not healing insults or injuries that he has. These little areas right here are
Close to time of death?
yeah, absolutely. And I'm finding very interesting that these are what we refer to as curvilinear. These could be consistent with fingernail marks.
The attorney for the funeral home, who says yes, those clothes did make it to the funeral home, a couple of days later I got an email saying, no, we never received the clothes.
A spokeswoman for the state tells CNN after its autopsy, the organs were placed in Johnson's body, the body was closed, then the body was released to the funeral home. State investigators say it's their normal practice.
Black Friday ad, JCPenney ad.
Like he was a garbage can.
From what was left, what could you derive?
So what we did, we still had the rest of the body. So we looked for other injuries that might have been overlooked or not dissected during the first autopsy. Something that might conceivably result in an explanation for why this child, who supposedly died of positional asphyxia, had normal lungs. So what we did, we continued basically to look up near the angle of the jaw, underneath the jaw. At that point, we found an area of bleeding, hemorrhage, which had not been described. This particular area happens to be very close, in fact, involving a nerve structure called the carotid sinus. And the carotid sinus basically controls blood pressure. And the idea is if blood pressure goes too high, the carotid sinus will basically sense that and slow the heart rate. Well, one of the other ways you can slow the heart rate is severe compression of the area around the carotid sinus. And that has even resulted in people dying suddenly. And this was distinctly different from all the other tissue around it. So it appeared to be due to blunt force trauma to the area. So we basically had absolute proof that this was a hemorrhage in that area, in an area that if pressure is applied could result in sudden death. Well, this would make things a little more reasonable as far as explaining why you have the lungs having no fluid. Because it would obviously mean he was dead when he was put in the gym mat.
According to the paramedics report, there was bruising noted to right side jaw.
The parents hired their own medical examiner who said this was a killing, blunt force trauma to the neck. Major victory for a mother and father desperate.
How would you feel if your motherfucking baby went to school and didn't make it home? And then you come to find out when you go discover the motherfucking situation, and it stuffed this motherfucker, your baby that you carried for 9 months, or that you raised, and stuffed him inside a motherfucking gym mat after they killed him. You gotta do better, America.
For answers about their son. For 10 months, those parents have searched for answers. And tonight, 2 major developments. Federal prosecutors now saying they will investigate.
A federal
Should have been
prosecutor
investigating, you
in Georgia
bitches.
said today he will conduct a formal review into the death of a teenager whose body was found in his high school gym.
First, what was the cause of Mr. Johnson's death? Second, was Mr. Johnson's death the result of a crime? Third, if Mr. Johnson's death was the result of a crime, who committed that crime, I will follow the facts wherever they lead.
Huddled around a portable television on the South Georgia street corner where they've staged an 8-month sit-in, the family of Kendrick Johnson watched the announcement they've been waiting for.
Hey, with all that racist shit going down though, and what is it, Valdosta, Georgia? That's the same town where Mary Turner, she was lynched, and they cut her baby out, and they stepped on the baby's head once the baby did hit the ground. Her husband was lynched as well. The town has a history of racism, systematic racism. From the looks of it, the whole the whole sheriff's office, courthouse, the whole judicial system out there is majority white. And from the sound of it, they just don't give a fuck. What if somebody went rampant and decided to go down there and just start shooting white kids in the head? Just start shooting these white kids. How quick would y'all be on top of trying to solve some shit like that? If a motherfucker went down there and just started killing y'all kids, man. We gotta do better, America. Shit ain't right.
Kendrick's family is grateful for the investigation, but they call it a stepping stone. They say their push for answers will continue.
Got to continue to fight on.
Ooh, shit.
Till justice is done for KJ.
Till justice is
As the
done for brother KJ. Rest in
investigation
peace, my
heated
brother.
up and students began
Oh, here you go, y'all. Check this bitch ass nigga out.
KJ and the Bell brothers started
Yeah, the Bell brother. Him right there. They did that shit. Yeah. They did that shit.
Brian and Kendrick on a team bus.
Brian Bell, goddammit. That bitch ass nigga. You bitch made ass nigga.
I remember the fight. He called me at the school.
We was on a bus trip for a playoff game. And Brian, you know, the kind of person he is. He joking around, he playing. But when he playing, he playing rough. You know what I'm saying? Kind of almost like a bully. So him and KJ sitting together in the back seat. And he grabbed his dreads. And he hold his head down with his dreads. And he laughing. And he picking at him. So when KJ get up, and he get his hands off of his dreads, they start fighting. I was in the seat right in front of them, seeing the whole thing. Anybody in that situation gonna fight.
Hell yeah. Bitch ass white boy. Put your hands on me. You're not gonna put your hands on me. You're not gonna put your hands on me, bitch ass white boy. On me. On me, yeah.
Deputy's car. But he let Brian sit in the stand with his parents and watch the game.
Kim came on one day and said, "Dad." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know how you can be standing up? You know, you can be standing up doing something and you just feel somebody looking at you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I turned around and seen Brandon staring at me, just standing there staring at me. And I've been hearing he telling people at school that it's not over." He said, "But I ain't worried about it." He said, "I ain't worried." He said, "I wish you would say something to me." So one other day, Kendrick came home. He said, "You know, Rick Bell, Brian's daddy, came up to me at school. He said, he told me that the fight was on the bus wasn't a fair fight. That I should come over to their house and refight Brian." So I said, "Killer, what'd you say?" He said, "I looked at him like he was calling
You bitch ass nigga. Ooh, you bitch ass nigga. I ain't gonna lie, boy, I'll crash out for this shit right here. Boy, I be done crashed out.
He'll speak to us when he walk past the wall that we sitting on in between classes. But after this happened, he takes a different route. He don't come through there no more. And this before anybody even thinking it's him. He just took it upon himself to go a different route to his classes. Why, after this happened, do you start taking different routes around the school?
Right.
That was like, you know, it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah, so no man, he did that shit, gang.
Why?
When all this happened, Kendrick didn't have no beef with nobody else. Kendrick wasn't into it with nobody else. They were the only one. And then we come to find out, they're the only ones didn't get interviewed. Didn't
Shit
want
crazy.
questions. They're the only
Yeah.
ones at the time blowing up.
Yeah.
When it was clear to us that if we couldn't make the case as far as what happened to Kendrick because of all this missing evidence, missing body part, all witnesses, just all of them, we realized it was going to be difficult to make the case. We started concentrating on obstruction. So we started looking at DeBell's father, who's an FBI agent, for some of the things that he was doing. Every time we would talk to someone, a witness, they would tell us how Bell's father met with them. And we were like, you can't interfere with a grand jury investigation. You have to leave it alone. But for somehow, he kept meeting with the witnesses who we were trying to talk to. And when we finally talked to the witness, we found out that they don't talk to the Bell father. They said they were not threatened directly. They just felt that way. They felt as though, some say they always felt as though they were being followed. I remember interviewing a young lady who told us how Rick Bell would visit her job, or she would see him outside of her job, and it used to make her nervous. And I felt as though we were very close to getting enough information, whereas we can say he committed obstruction, an FBI agent committed obstruction.
What that mean? Somebody finna get smacked? Want finna check me a bag, baby. You know what I'm talking about?
Plenty of agencies were involved and went to a lot of different locations.
An FBI agent's home was raided last month in connection with the investigation into the death of a Valdosta teenager.
Karen Bell says her husband Rick Bell is an agent in good standing with the FBI, an arm of the
Then his wife named Karen. Karen Bell. Man, please. You got to be crazy. Brian Bell and what's the other? Brandon Bell.
5:16 a.m. July 21st came from an arm of the U.S. Justice Department to the U.S. Marshal Service.
Yeah. Get them bitch ass niggas, yo.
The morning of around 5 a.m. I was laying in bed. I got a bang on my door.
Tactical gear?
Yes, sir. To the nth degree. It was just like, it's about the Kendra Johnson case. The ongoing Kendra Johnson investigation.
In order for a judge to sign search warrants, meaning several for several locations, therefore, evidence was submitted that he believed we were on to something. So these search warrants, several, were signed.
Deputy U.S. Marshal serving search warrants in connection with the mysterious death of Kendrick Johnson.
Say that shit again. Kendrick Johnson.
In 2013.
I was just really shocked. I really had no reason in my head why they would be here. It just keeps on getting worse.
Documents provided by the Bell's legal team indicate property seized with the search warrant included smartphones, thumb drives, laptops, discs, and the like.
Deals with obstructing investigations, destroying evidence. And what do you say, Brent?
So now it's my photographer to push in and pat on your face. Our viewers can read your expression.
He did that shit on
Did you have anything to do with the death of Kendrick Johnson?
Blink. Yeah, he blinked and shook his. Come on, man.
He's like one of my good friends.
Even at the time of his death?
Even at the time of his death.
And I want everybody to know the truth. And I mean, they can ridicule me and they can say whatever they want, but in the end, the truth will prevail.
Yeah, it will prevail. You bitch ass niggas did that shit, boy. You and your hoe ass brother and your bitch ass FBI daddy, nigga. Fuck you mean?
See Kendrick Johnson?
No, sir. No.
Yeah. Brandon and Brian Bell. Yeah, get them hoe ass niggas. Yeah. We own that.
Same block, third block.
Yeah, we own that hoe. Yeah, we own that hoe. Fuck you talking about, hoe.
Did you see Kendrick that day?
I did not.
Have you prayed for the Johnsons?
Yes, sir. I have. I hope that they found justice, and I hope that they do find out the truth about their son.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
New developments in the Kendrick Johnson death investigation. We have uncovered an email whose sender claims to know who killed Johnson.
And tonight I have been looking through these 22 pages that we requested that could possibly answer the question, what happened to Kendrick Johnson?
Some of the kids that know scared, but they should never be scared.
This week, WJCL learned U.S. Attorney Michael Moore subpoenaed more than 120 students and parents in Valdosta to testify in front of a grand jury. What happened to Kendrick last January is a question the family has been asking for more than a year now. And this week, that question may have an answer. WJCL learned deputies in Lowndes County received
It's been 10 years, nigga. 10 years today, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga. 10 years today, cuz.
To Jane and Joe. Here's what the email says. My best friend was at a party Saturday night with Jane, and she was upset about something that Joe had said to her. She said that about a little over a year ago, she had sexual intercourse with Kendrick Johnson while she was dating Joe. Joe found out and threatened KJ. KJ told Joe to meet him in the old gym at the third block, and he would have his knife ready. Joe and Joe's friend met KJ and killed him. Joe has also been heard admitting to killing KJ more than once over the phone. His brother also got drunk at a party on the 4th of July and told many people that Joe killed KJ and that Joe's brother was tired of keeping it a secret.
And my sources told me one of the boys in the email is the son of an FBI agent. His father originally told him not to talk to investigators, but is now forced to talk because of the subpoena.
There's been several people that has come forward with the truth. But then you got them going to jail, being locked up, being silenced if you say it, and being threatened.
A supposed lead in the Kendrick Johnson investigation has fizzled.
We identified the source of the email yesterday. We went and interviewed that person last night. What we found was they admitted they had sent the email, but they did it out of a genuine interest in the case. This is information they had heard, nothing firsthand, all rumors and speculation.
And other than the guy, he was telling people about what happened to Kendrick, and they found out and they got him in and kept him for so many months. Nobody could get him out. And then when he got out, he recanted his whole story. He said he wasn't telling the truth.
When it comes to justice in this county, it's more about who you know. In this case, you have Lowndes County High School, the superintendent's office, the GBI, the FBI, and the DOJ.
The cover-up started with one of their own GBI agents and his children, and when they found out it was him, the cover-up started there, and then it trickled on down to the medical examiner, then on over to the funeral home. All that it was just all this just going on. I'm like, but y'all will go through all this just to cover
Yeah.
for these children.
Before they start shooting these white kids, then it's gonna be bogus.
Just covering it up.
Start hitting their kids, knocking their ass off, putting their ass in gym mats.
But
Just cause though. Cause they was doing it to us, lynching us and putting us in ropes.
Keep coming and give us like different little lies.
Putting ropes around niggas' necks, hanging them on bridges and trees.
We would come
Let's start hanging white niggas. Y'all the new niggas.
November 2015, the U.S. attorney in charge of this case, Michael Moore, suddenly resigned. This was astonishing because this was the attorney who put the bellboys as the target of the investigation.
They got some dirt on this nigga.
I know he ran scared. Like these people here scared him out of his job.
Yeah, they did that. Pussy ass nigga.
How
You only came because you thought you was gonna get some glory off
this case and look at it
bringing these niggas to
As
justice.
soon as it get hot, as soon as you get threats, you go one and take cover.
When Michael Moore resigned, his cases went to his successor, except Kendrick. For some reason, KJ's case was moved from Georgia to Ohio.
Going to Ohio with this case was like mind-boggling to me. There had to have been discussions in Washington as to how you're going to have a change of venue from one state to another state.
You know, I think that your prosecutor is really the gatekeeper for the court system, for the justice system. And if you're not willing to keep the gate, then that means nothing.
How the U.S. attorney for the Middle District of Georgia all of a sudden just abruptly quit his position and joined a law firm in Atlanta.
At Oakland Lamry, we represent people who find and report the waste, fraud, and abuse of taxpayer money. We handle these cases, sometimes called whistleblower or false claims cases, for all kinds of individuals.
Wait, why?
Why?
Yeah, why? The question is why? You have to ask the question, why all of these whys?
We got to the point where we really thought either we were going to make an arrest of him or he may have been getting indicted. But for us to get a notification that we were no longer going back to Georgia, I was like, huh? That's impossible. No, you're not going back. You have work to do in D.C. I'm like, what work?
A very disappointing day for the parents of Kendrick Johnson, 3.5 years after the 17-year-old was found dead in his high school gym.
Kendrick Johnson's parents say there was no on either civil or criminal charges in his 2013 death. They say federal prosecutors told them there was not enough evidence to pursue a criminal case, but they still believe he was murdered by schoolmates. And Monday, the Johnson said federal prosecutors didn't entirely rule out that possibility. They simply concluded there was not enough evidence to prove it.
They said they catch a witness. He willing to give up all type of information and all that. And I guess they locked the nigga up a few months. Get out, his ass. Fold under pressure. He don't want to cooperate no more. This is probably one of those situations where it's like, I would have said something. I'm going to keep it real with you. Either that or me being from the rap. That's my homie. We got to slide for, bro. Yeah, we got to get these bitch-ass white niggas back, bro. Straight like that. It's one or the other. That's just the mindset I got with that whole ordeal, cuz.
And then all but came out and said they know he was murdered, but nothing to be done about it.
The jury has just come back and has returned a verdict of not guilty. Thus, the defendants, Lyle and Bryant, are three men in this community of Selmurder, Mississippi.
Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, same shit all over again, yo.
We, law enforcement, Justice Department, we let them down. We let them down, man. And that's just not, we're not supposed to let families down.
We sat in the room, it's probably about 7, 8 of them.
It was all DOJ representatives?
Yeah. So it basically said, they said they didn't have enough evidence to prove a reasonable doubt. They didn't say they didn't have no evidence. They said they didn't have enough to prove it. You know what they said? That she was planted there. So what did I tell you?
The DOJ said that?
They said right there in the meeting that the shoe was planted there. Mr. Johnson, you're right. The shoe
Extra
was
third
planted
pair
there.
of shoes.
You would sit in the room with us and tell us, you know that somebody planted that shoe under Kendrick's head, but yet y'all still can't call this a murder.
She said, we know, Mr. Johnson, we know something happened, but we just don't know who did it. She said, Dr. Anderson's report is the most accurate report.
I just felt like we still wasn't gonna stop regardless of them dropping it. Whatever, we still gotta keep going. They can drop it, but we not gonna drop it. This town feels like they really run the world. 7 judges recuse themselves. How? 7. How? When this is your job, I don't care because that's your friend.
If it wasn't an FBI agent's kids, would 7 judges have recused themselves?
Would Michael Moore have gave up his position?
To fully understand the FBI's actions towards KJ, we first need to go back to the roots of the organization. A man named J. Edgar Hoover first created the FBI.
The FBI will continue to be objective in its investigations.
They should have whacked this bitch ass
Within the bounds of its authorized jurisdiction.
He ran it with unparalleled control for nearly 50 years. He served through 8 presidents. He collected counterintelligence on every presidential candidate before they were elected so he could control them while they were in office. He was literally the most famous man in Washington and one of the most powerful men in the world for half a century. Once you realize this, it's impossible to ignore the impacts of his tyrannical work still lingering throughout our system today. During his reign, Hoover would say he was protecting America from communists and domestic hate groups. But a closer look at his actions reveals a very different story. What Hoover actually did was create a clandestine domestic terrorism unit named COINTELPRO and ran it with no congressional oversight or even knowledge that it existed. It was designed specifically to destruct and destroy Black America's civil rights movement. It was not until 1971 that the nation heard the name of this program. It took 8 brave activists to break into the FBI building and steal documents proving their illegal operations. In the stolen documents released to the press was a detailed program of hate, intimidation, and harassment. COINTELPRO was so far-reaching that there were 50,000 pages finally released about Hoover's dirty work and a congressional hearing on the matter in 1975. What came out were horror stories of the FBI's racism and bullying tactics.
I've been told for years by, among others, some of my own family, that this is exactly what the Bureau was doing all the time. And in my great wisdom and high office, I assured them they were on pot, but this just wasn't true. What you described is a series of illegal actions intended squarely to deny First Amendment rights to some Americans. And that's what my children have told me is going on.
Documents also revealed a bonus payment of $175 to an undercover FBI agent inside the KKK for beating up a black man. Hoover would later tell the agent, "You're one of the greatest Americans this country has ever had." Another shocking page was an anonymous letter to Martin Luther King, which the Bureau wrote and sent to him 1 month before he received the Nobel Peace Prize. The letter berated King, and in the last paragraph suggested he commit suicide.
The Bureau went so far as to mail anonymous letters to Dr. King and his wife, and finishes with this suggestion.
J. Edgar Hoover for all you little young dumb motherfuckers. You little young goofy shooting motherfuckers that ain't got no knowledge of self and history. Go look that nigga up. I want to see all you little tough motherfuckers go back to the civil rights era, civil rights days, and see if you got that same motherfucking toughness about yourself. If you're gonna be so willing to murder and kill your own.
King, there's only one thing left for you to do.
Knowing these people
You know
out here
what it
doing
is.
this to us, nigga.
You have just 34 days in which to do it. You are done.
If I can interrupt, that was taken by Dr. King to mean a suggestion for suicide, was it not?
That's our understanding, Senator.
Decades after
don't get no
Hoover's
fuck.
death, the FBI's actions show they haven't changed. The assault on Black America's political movements continues to this day. We saw it firsthand when many of the peaceful protesters in Ferguson were investigated, tracked, and labeled by the FBI as Black identity extremists.
Black identity extremists, now considered a domestic terror threat by the FBI. The Bureau releasing an explosive new report.
And has the FBI and the American public denounced Hoover? Far from it. Even today, you can go and visit the FBI building in D.C., which still carries his name proudly. And has the FBI been fighting real terrorist hate groups too? Or have they just been focused on the civil rights activists? Well, a 2018 study shows that U.S. hate groups have reached an all-time high. So who is the FBI against, and who are they for?
For us to not make an arrest, for me to find out later the case was dismissed, just my personal feeling, I felt as though something had to have occurred. And I really thought that they must have struck a deal with Rick Bell.
He lost his job because the DOJ
Rick Bell, bitch ass dead.
of corruption.
The whole ass
They
dead.
actually told
Bitch
me
ass
that
FBI
on the
agent.
phone. We was on a phone conference.
Coward
They said,
ass
"Mr.
hunky.
Johnson, we're gonna tell you,
Coward
they're
ass
not gonna
hunky.
come up and they're not gonna fire, but they're gonna make him resign."
Yeah, it's
They
been a
said,
year
"We
since
got
that nigga
evidence
passed, man.
of
Rest in peace,
corruption
Kendrick
of Rick
Johnson,
Bell.
man.
And what we gonna do?
Found that boy rolled up in a mat 10 years
Turn it
ago.
over to the FBI.
They got the documentary on Stars, man. Check that shit
I
out.
felt as though we would have continued our investigation. Not only would we have made an arrest with bail for obstruction, I really believe we would have got to the bottom of what happened to Kendrick if Bail would have been charged with obstruction of justice. I'm looking at Kendrick's father. I'm looking at myself. And I'm saying to myself, as I look at Kendrick's father, is that I'll probably be in jail for murder.
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Well, the sounds
All
of
that
those
time.
screeching chains echoed through the Sunset
All
Cemetery
that
in
time.
Valdosta today as
Especially the
Kendrick
evidence pointing
Johnson's
towards you
grave
too. What?
was exhumed for the second time.
Bitch, you'll never make it out of high
Johnson
school.
family is
What,
hoping
nigga?
a third
I wouldn't even kill the
autopsy
daddy. I'm
will
gonna kill
help them
both
figure out what happened
the
to their
sons.
son.
We're looking at the pictures.
Fuck the bullshit.
There was an area on the right side of the chest that looked like hemorrhage. So we did a
Yeah,
third
nigga, you gonna
autopsy.
feel our pain.
It
Fuck that.
turns
We ain't even
out
gonna
we
get
used
you.
the
We
same
gonna get the
techniques
weak
we
ass
did
boys
before,
of yours.
but it did show that there had been blunt force trauma to the right side of the chest. So we had two
Smack
areas
your
of
wife
trauma
upside the head
for
with a
sure.
baseball
So
bat,
I'm
nigga.
fairly confident that we pretty much have the mechanism on how this kid died.
So, when you went
and you presented your evidence. What happened?
We contacted the medical examiner in Georgia and the state attorney, and I told them that we had the photos, we had the microscopic slides and so forth, and the response we got was, we're not interested in looking at them. Nobody has basically requested to look at the slides except the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Clearly, there's something on these slides that Dr. Anderson made the state of Georgia doesn't want you to see. So for the first time ever, here they are.
You can see here, this is all dried out, embalmed tissue. And when we open this area, we see this distinct area, which I'm using the cursor to show, of hemorrhage. That red coloration, distinctly different from the other area. Now this is the area under the microscope, and we can see all these red areas here. Now the question then becomes, well, are these really red blood cells? So that's when we do the immunohistochemistry.
Immunohistochemistry. What the fuck?
Immunostaining,
hey, boy.
we call it. And the areas in brown, that's the antibody picking up.
That's why they make the big bucks.
Which is the hemoglobin. So that's basically how we prove
that boy
that
said
this
the
is actually
hemoglobin.
hemorrhage, not artifact.
The fuck is that, man?
And that made our diagnosis pretty firm that this was area of blunt force trauma to the neck. I sent it to 2 other pathologists to look at myself.
Yeah, I got mad respect for them forensic scientists niggas, man. The doctors, boy, that take a lot of work. A lot of brain power. Take the time to learn all that shit about the human body.
Whatever's left over is telling a story that they're still trying to cover. Kendrick is still speaking from the brain.
So let me get this straight. A 5'10" kid decided to go head first into a 6-foot mat, then realized after he was stuck that he was gonna die down there. And then he died down there, stuck. Somehow silently, with a gym full of kids.
Yeah, boy, they make a Netflix series on this shit. Well, it's gonna be a rap, boy. They coming for that ass, boy. I'm telling you.
On the top of his body.
Boy, they coming for that ass. Brian and Brandon Bell.
His legs became twisted in the mat. And all of this happened in the middle of a school day in a gym full of kids. Then somehow the videotape from only those moments is missing. Then Kendrick's organs go missing. 7 judges recuse themselves. The U.S. attorney working on the case resigns. And then your case moves to Ohio. Then it's officially closed by the Justice Department, who tells you in a meeting the crime scene has planted objects. Your autopsy report is correct. Your child was murdered, and there's nothing else we can do about it. One thing we kept hearing over and over again was about this missing FBI report regarding the security tape hard drive and the blackout footage. So we looked into finding that report to see if we could locate it, and we did. However, the report was heavily redacted. But then we were able to find the unredacted FBI report, and what we discovered blew us away. You see, in the redacted report, you can barely see any of the video frames. Most of the frames are blacked out, and the ones with KJ are barely recognizable. In the unredacted report, we were able to see all the video frames in full color. The report follows KJ, Brian, and Brandon's movement throughout the school for the entire day and records where they were. Not only is this further video evidence that the Bell boys were on campus when KJ went missing, we found something that the FBI clearly didn't want us to see. Let us put them side by side so you can see what we found. Here they are. Can you see something a little odd? Look closely. There appears to be a frame on both pages that matches. How could this be? What tipped us off is KJ's yellow folder. We were going through Brian's movements and all of a sudden, KJ's folder appeared on screen. That's right. There's a frame on KJ's side and Brian's side that is identical. The boys are standing seemingly right next to each other in the hallway.
Did you see Kendrick that day?
I did not.
Seeing the
Lying ass nigga.
killer of KJ standing next to him in the hallway the day he died in school has sent chills down our spines. How did no one see this frame? How did the FBI let this go? Why did it take 6 years and an independent filmmaker to find this? These are all questions that may never go answered. But what we do know for sure is that we have more facts now than we ever had. And this case needs to be reopened and re-examined with a fine-tooth comb. After finding this game-changing evidence, our crew flew to Georgia to show Kendrick's parents as soon as possible.
Did you see that, Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that? They earned it next to each other. That's the morning of. And that's in their own report.
The way them niggas next to each other, ain't no way you didn't see him. There's no fucking way you didn't see him. You gotta have the worst peripheral vision in the fucking world to not see that boy standing next to you.
All the adults, authorities, and school personnel show you to the extent that how much they covered up.
How are you feeling right now?
We just came to just let you know we were writing that all along.
What do you think is going to happen when we release this photograph?
They're gonna try to come out with some more lies.
Yeah,
What do you
they
think
is.
they're
They
gonna say
is.
about it?
That's some whole shit.
Somebody photocropped it
In their own report.
in their own report.
All along, we know it was bullshit. We know it was bullshit.
Yeah, we gotta get that right, Joe. Yeah, we gotta get that right. That's some hoe shit. That's some hoe shit. On
They
me.
pushed a real large social media campaign against us about Kendrick and Brian. They never see them, none that day. And go and show you. You was right, they was lying the whole damn while.
Yeah, daddy need to go harder. My daddy, what? That's some shit like that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Shit, my mama too. My grandma, what? Oh shit, yeah, I had to talk to my wife, man.
You know, we decided to go back into the FBI's report to see if there was anything else we can show to prove it. Lo and behold, the page after the photo was a grid that the FBI wrote describing each picture. In their own words, they wrote, quote, KJ observed in covered walkway moving towards camera. Bell observed in same location at this time. So there you have it. The FBI not only included the photo of Brian and Kendrick in their report, they included a spreadsheet explaining the photos that back up exactly what we are seeing. KJ and Brian standing next to each other the morning this all happened. After showing our new evidence to the Johnson family, we flew to D.C. to get a third-party perspective on this FBI report from Mitch. KJ and Brian standing next to each other the morning this all happened.
Hold up. I'm stuck.
They just let the FBI agent just now seeing this
I'm
shit.
stuck because if the footage was there, and if the footage was there, I don't recall seeing this footage. And I clearly remember going to the FBI office in Atlanta when I first got involved in the case.
I've never seen this. Wait. I don't ever recall seeing KJ standing near Brian Bell with a yellow folder in his hand, and just based on the footage, obviously that's here, they're near each other. It may be 10 feet or closer. I can see the public not saying certain things. I can see the family not saying certain things, but as an investigator, it bothers me because it's something that I should have seen. And why wasn't I given the opportunity to see this? I recall being told that Brian Bell didn't see KJ that day. And it's obvious just by looking at this footage that came from wherever it came from that they had to have seen each other that day. And oh wow, oh man, I mean, I'm God, excuse me, I'm a little messed up right now. To know that I'm seeing something now that I cannot have seen back in 2015 when I was involved in the investigation, sort of kind of make me think that I wonder about some other things I did not see, or some other things that maybe I wasn't supposed to see. And when you're following the evidence and you're steered off in another direction and you miss evidence, then that most definitely is going to interfere with investigations. If I'm one of the investigators on the case, I should have seen this particular clip, and it shouldn't be because what a filmmaker found that I saw this. How was this filmmaker able to see this particular evidence? And I'm part of the investigation and I never saw it before. And I think that's what's troublesome to me, to see something new. I'm investigating the case, but I don't see it. But someone, a filmmaker, I mean, no disrespect, but the filmmaker, he finds a piece of evidence that I couldn't find. It's troublesome to me, and that's real. Yeah, that's it. Ain't nothing else I can say about that.
Shit crazy.
What do you think really happened?
I think, honestly, I think it was a fight in the gym. I wouldn't say Brian by himself. I don't think he can beat him one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he went right in the mat. I think the mat was some shit that was done at the school hours, honestly. I think they jumped him. They jumped him, and they took it too far.
When you look at the investigation, you flip the script, you ask yourself if one of the Bell boys had died and Kendrick was the suspect, would a body parts be missing? Would the case have been ruled an accident? Would evidence been missing? Would the timeline on the video take minutes or whatever, would that have been missing? Would an arrest not have been made?
They decided him that night if he'd have been a white boy missing, and then they would have done something about it.
Everybody in the United States should have the protection of their rights under the law, and this includes police officers. There are situations where, because of certain circumstances, police officers who are doing their duty become the victims of wrongful lawsuits or wrongful prosecutions.
Ed Meese, the U.S. Attorney General during Reagan's presidency, is one of the leaders of a group who works behind the scenes, paying legal costs and providing other forms of assistance to law enforcement officials accused of heinous crimes. Even after Rick Bell lost his job, they were helping him and his family in their legal battles concerning KJ. What this means is that while KJ's body is busy being exhumed again, Brian Bell is able to play Division I football. But this inequality suffered by KJ and
hold on, we got to show y'all this shit.
Paying legal costs and providing other forms of assistance to law enforcement officials accused of heinous crimes. Even after Rick Bell
That's a
lost his
fine ass
job,
mama right
they
there.
were helping him and his family in their legal battles concerning KJ. What this means is that while KJ's body is busy being exhumed again, Brian Bell is able to play Division I football. But this
Look at this shit
inequality
here.
suffered by KJ and his family is nothing new to Black Americans. It's only now, with cell phone cameras and police body cams, that we are actually able to see how this inequity plays out.
James gonna call me, shoot you in your man. You understand me? Don't you? I'm gonna shoot you in your head. You hear me? Don't you?
When black men are choked for selling cigarettes or walking in the street, white mass murderers are gingerly arrested and fed hamburgers by the police. If KJ had been white, we wouldn't have had to make this film. Imagine it had been Brian Bell wrapped up in a gym mat. Would his organs have been replaced by newspaper in his body? Would security footage have gone missing? Everyone in Valdosta knows there's much more to this story than what is in that official report. But no one seems to care. Because to them, kids like Kendrick don't matter. Their lives and stories don't matter. And certainly, their deaths don't matter. Except they do matter.
What do you want? I can breathe. Please, the name on it. I can breathe shit. Bro, get up, get in the car, man. I will. Get up, get in the car. I can't move. I've been waiting the whole Get up, get in the car. Mama. Get up.
In the summer of 2020, a man named George Floyd died on camera screaming, "I can't breathe," while a police officer kept his knee on his neck for 9 straight minutes. An eerie throwback to Eric Garner's last moments. This video of George went super viral. Around the same time, a woman named Breonna Taylor was killed in her home by police during a botched raid in the middle of the night. A public already angry about the coronavirus responded en masse to support these victims. A wave of protests filled the streets worldwide to support George and Breonna's justice.
Waves of peaceful protest were marched on bigger than ever before.
No more silence.
From Washington's newly named Black Lives Matter Plaza.
Fuck Black Lives
San
Matter.
Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge to Philadelphia.
This renewed interest
Where all that motherfucking money at, you bitches stole? Fuck Black Lives Matter. Motherfuckers ain't did shit for niggas.
Pushing KJ's name out into the conversation.
Jacqueline Johnson says justice was never served in the death of her son, Kendrick. Now with the help of a petition and big-name celebrities, she has hope.
People just don't understand how hard it is to lose a child, but to lose one to murder, senseless murder.
Everyone started posting about KJ, and his story became headline news again in the wake of this new movement happening. A petition starting the year before in support of KJ's justice began to go viral. During the summer of 2020, over 1.7 million people signed KJ's petition.
But because we were a black people, a black family, and they thought we was this black poor family that wasn't gonna do nothing, and they already said, yeah, we're gonna give them a couple of dollars and they're gonna just go away. Your dollars don't mean nothing compared to that body. That was mine. That's mine. Baby boy, we doing it for you. Ain't letting that stop us. I had to come check on you. Ain't been out here in a while since your birthday. We're gonna keep raising hell till we get justice for you, baby. He used to be the heaviest child about going to Lounge High School. That child loved going to school. I can call his name. One time he would get up, even though he wasn't a morning person.
He was always close to everybody, really. But man, it was the closest because we was the youngest and we always had to be home.
He would just go in there and dive on her back and just make her so mad, and she'd get up and chase him through the house, and just, he was just the joy of our life. You know, when I tell you we was a crazy family, we used to wrestle through the house, we used to have water fights.
Laughing, cutting jokes. That's all we really did. It was never a dull moment at all. But Kendrick, respectful, loved his family, loved his dad. Loved his daddy. Oh my God. That's true.
I said, boy, wake up at such time.
What's up, baby?
He wake me up. So that time come, he wake me up.
I missed it. I missed that little boy.
For people that don't understand what sex is, just simply, like, what do you say to that?
Tell your sibling that you love them every day. Every single day. It don't matter if y'all mad, y'all disagreeing. Make sure you tell your whole family, like, that you love them. Because anything can happen. You can wake up the next day and they gone. You be living with them your whole life, and the next day, you can't even tell them that you love them. You can't even tell them that you miss them.
To be without Kendrick on Christmas and his birthdays.
I see people every day take their family for granted. And I be trying to tell them, can't do that. Cause you end up in my situation, you don't know how to walk in my shoes. You gonna be able to be as strong as me and my people is. Everybody ain't built to handle what we going through.
My husband say that one day he was in the bed after Kendrick died, and he could literally feel Kendrick getting in the bed behind him and laying down. Because that's the stuff they used to sit in the bed and watch football together.
I never thought that I ever live without neither one of my brothers. So
What I'm supposed to do?
it being my favorite brother, the one that I'm like the closest to, it's very devastating.
I've been talking. I've been pausing talking to my people.
Love your people.
So obviously, motherfucker think I ain't doing my job good enough. So why don't you get your ass on here? You talk to the people and you tell them what I'm supposed to be doing. Have I not been talking to y'all? Ain't nobody watching my shit right now, but eventually I'm gonna get some views on this bitch.
Okay, but you don't supposed to watch TV.
What I'm supposed to do? Ain't that what we was gonna do with the housewife shit?
Oh, so that's what you discussing. So,
Yeah, you think? Oh, you think I'm just sitting here looking cute? Like nice?
that's what I thought. That's all you got it on yourself.
With no guests. Get out my room. Go take a shower. Go lay down, take a bath or something.
And I know
No, I'm
you
just
know
playing.
that.
Come here.
And you left us because you knew that you had two parents that was going to always fight for you.
What's up, babe?
And you know we wasn't going nowhere until we get it right. Until we make sure somebody's held accountable.
I thought you was bringing us some food back. I was banking on that, man. Big baby, take a little bath.
It'll never change.
Oh, shit.
I miss you.
Kendrick, we miss you. And we know that justice is
Rest in peace, Kendrick Johnson, man. This shit is crazy, man. Get them bitch ass white boys. Get that whole ass nigga off the football team.
my life before I let this case go.
You know, me and you was like two peas in a pod. Nothing can break us apart. I hear your voice, and I thank you for the many nights that I would have overslept in my truck. Even the day when I used to have you sitting in the front seat while I was taking a nap, and you used to wake me up. You used to always be poking on me. Dad, it's time to go, it's time to go. I can still hear that same voice.
Thank you. Going through all this, God is just still so good. He gave us strength.
Man, yeah, they need to get out with Cypher Flower, man.
Knowing the truth gonna come for you, Kendrick. It's coming.
Even though motherfuckers know what's going on.
Coming.
Until we meet again, I always love you, son.
It'll be okay down here. You ain't gotta worry about this.
strong. Because we got
Hey,
the
but
most
yeah, I'm interested to see about that daddy. Okay, this nigga look like this nigga got protection from niggas under the Ronald Reagan administration, crack era's finest, my nigga. So where this nigga start off at? Gotta wonder about that. This nigga probably got some M's put up from around the crack era, man. Shit is crazy, man. Justice for Kendrick, man. Like and subscribe. Y'all know what the fuck going on. I'll give y'all another video tomorrow, some shit like that.